Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. You're not a big brother, want to play business. Fang Jin traveled through a parallel world and accidentally saved a martial arts expert. Before his death, the martial arts tycoon left his position to Fang Jin. Left behind 100 idle little thugs for Fang Jin. These little thugs followed the last wishes of the martial arts masters, chose to be loyal to each other, and decided to follow him for a lifetime. Fang Jin doesn't want to hang out on the road and collect protection fees, which has no future. So, Fang Jin started his business journey with this little thug who never gave up on him. Who says thugs can't do business? Who said that? You have the courage to stand up. Grab your mother and see if the labor and management don't kill you. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. After Chapter 1, Call Me Big Brother, Seeking Flowers for Evaluation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiangqing. A regular rental house. Fang Jin was awakened by a sudden ringing of his phone. He looked around in confusion at the unfamiliar room. Where is this? His phone kept ringing, and he didn't have time to think about it, so he connected it. Fang Jin, you. Come to Big Brother's house, Big Brother. He can't do it anymore. On the phone, there was a panicked voice. Big Brother, what's wrong with him? Fang Jin's body shook. A strange memory flooded into his mind. He has now confirmed that he has traveled by himself. Big Brother was attacked today and seriously injured. He doesn't have much time now and wants to see you. The phone quickly said. Okay, I'll be right over. Fang Jin quickly agreed. The phone hung up. Fang Jin also hurriedly left. Now in his mind, there are more and more memories from this world. It turned out that he had traveled to a parallel world. This world is 90% similar to the previous world, but there are also some differences. The current Fang Jin is a recently graduated college student. I haven't found a job yet. Of course, it is not entirely true to say that he is an ordinary college student. He has a sworn brother in this world who has a very good relationship. He once saved the life of this big brother, so this big brother became sworn brothers with him. However, this elder brother is from the Tao, and Fang Jin has also advised him not to wander in the Tao. There is no future in the Tao, and it is easy to get into trouble. Unfortunately, this big brother has 100 little brothers with him. He has a good relationship with these little brothers, and the little brothers are also very loyal to him. He couldn't bear this heart, unwilling to wash his hands and leave these little brothers. Sure enough. There is still an accident now. In 40 minutes. Fang Jin arrived at the community where his sworn brother was staying, which was very ordinary and even a bit dilapidated. The place where Big Brother lives is not very good either. It seems that business on the road has become increasingly difficult in recent years. This also further confirms Fang Jin's idea that there is no future in the road. The community is usually very quiet. At this moment, there are quite a few thugs in the community. A group of blue-skinned figures with only stubble left, with an expression that was not friendly and fierce. The people in the community are all walking around these thugs. Everyone can see that these thugs are in a bad mood. No one wants to get moldy. Fang Jin walked over. These thugs don't know much about Fang Jin. As they watched Fang Jin walk over, someone's eyes showed a chill. Even some thugs have reached their hands to their waist, ready to pull out the knife. At this point, they were on the verge of a rampage due to their elder brother being attacked. But there were still thugs who recognized Fang Jin. You finally arrived. Hurry up, Big Brother hasn't breathed a sigh yet, he's been waiting for you. A thug ran over. Is it so serious? Fang Jin didn't ask why he didn't go to the hospital. He followed the thug to the Big Brother's house. At this moment, there were 5 or 6 people standing in the room, each with wild eyes and tattoos. These people are all Big Brother's confidants. They were the first to follow Big Brother and are extremely loyal to him. Fang Jin didn't look at these people, his gaze fixed on the middle of the house. A middle-aged man in his 40s lay on the ground, his strong body wrapped in a bandage, but the bandage still couldn't stop blood from flowing out. The middle-aged man was on the brink of death, and his face was already pale. Big Brother. Fang Jin hurried over. A feeling of sadness rose from the bottom of my heart, which was my previous feelings towards a middle-aged man. This middle-aged man has always been very considerate towards others. Upon hearing Fang Jin's voice, the middle-aged man's eyes lit up slightly. Xiao Jin, you're here. His voice is very weak. Compared to him before, this is completely 2 people. At that time, he had the demeanor of a big brother and was very imposing. Big Brother, why don't you go to the hospital? Can I call an ambulance? Fang Jin said he wanted to take out his phone. No need. I know about my own affairs. I won't be able to survive this time. The middle-aged man stopped Fang Jin's action. Don't speak. Listen to me. I have some things to tell you. He struggled and said. Fang Jin was about to speak, but then he didn't make a sound and listened to the middle-aged man's words. He had already heard that this was the last words of a middle-aged man. It's nothing if I die, everyone will die. Don't seek revenge on me. I don't have a wife and children, but I can't let go of my brothers. I want to hand them over to you. You lead them to work hard, I believe you, and I have told my brothers that they all agree with my decision. I'll ask you now, are you willing to be their new big brother? The middle-aged man seemed to have only one last breath left. He waited for Fang Jin's answer, hoping that Fang Jin would give him a satisfactory answer. Fang Jin was a bit surprised. The last words of the middle-aged man were something he never expected. Give these brothers to me. Do you want me to take them to collect protection fees? He instinctively wants to refuse. But suddenly, a metallic sound rang out in Fang Jin's mind. Ding! Big Brother system activation. System activation completed. The host has agreed to become the new Big Brother and will have the opportunity to acquire ownership of the 4C's shopping mall. He was supposed to refuse, but now he doesn't refuse anymore. Fang Jin knows about the 4C's shopping plaza, which has over 400 shops. The minimum monthly rent for shops here is 20,000 yuan. If he owns this square, the annual rent would be over 100 million yuan. In just 1 year, he can become a billionaire. Where can I find such a good thing? Thinking of this, Fang Jin felt that this group of middle-aged men's thugs were not unacceptable. Big Brother. Don't worry, they'll leave it to me. I am willing to be their new Big Brother. I will take care of them. After saying this, a smile appeared on the middle-aged man's face. And then, the smile is fixed on the face. He left this world. Ding! Congratulations to the host for becoming the new Big Brother and receiving the beginner gift pack. The host gains 100% loyalty from all the little brothers. The host gains double the physical strengthening. Host gains temporary ownership of Sihai Shopping Plaza for 3 months. The host can obtain a new task at the same time, complete the 6-month rent collection for the 4C's Shopping Plaza, and permanently obtain the 4C's Shopping Plaza. Fang Jin instantly felt a warm current surging through his body, as if he had become a bit stronger. However, this feeling is also fleeting. He looked around and said in a low voice. Call me Big Brother in the future. The grades on the first day of a new book are very important, seeking flowers and evaluations Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Boiled water, no money, seeking flowers for comments. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. 3 days later. Across from the Four Seas Shopping Plaza. Yunfei Tea House. This is a very famous tea house in Jiangcheng. The antique sign of the tea house is very eye-catching. Many people come to the tea house every day, especially business people, many of whom like to drink tea and talk about business here. Early morning. The lobby here is almost full. The lobby manager is very satisfied. Judging from this situation, business will be very good again today. 9 o'clock in the morning. A bald, somewhat tall and thin thug with a hooked nose and thin lips, a particularly cold expression, and a scar on his face, who looked fierce and evil, walked into the tea house. The fierce light in his eyes looked as if he was about to kill someone. The waitress in charge of reception at the door didn't dare to go over, her face turned a bit pale, and her calves were trembling. The bald thug ignored the waitress and glanced around. There are no separate tables available in the entire lobby. He didn't leave and walked towards a tea table. This tea table has 2 guests who seem to be discussing business, and there is an empty seat across from them. The bald thug didn't hesitate at all and sat down directly. The 2 people who are discussing business are a bit unhappy. Who is this? This tea table is taken, are you still sitting down? Wait until they stop talking and lift their heads. There was a bald thug sitting across from them, glaring at them with arrogant and reckless eyes. The 2 of them are still a bit dissatisfied. One person tugged at the other's clothes and gestured with their gaze. The waist of the bald thug is bulging, showing a knife handle-like contour. This bald thug is wearing a knife. The 2 of them were startled. Take a glance at each other. Boss Yang, I think we've talked a lot. That's all for today, right? One person stood up in panic. Yes, I remember. I still have something to do. The other person quickly stood up and began to greet the waiter to pay the bill. The 2 quickly left. Who knows what this thug wants to do, in case he gets into a fight with someone later and splatters blood all over their faces. In the blink of an eye, he was the only one left at the tea table on the thug's side. Later on, no one dared to go there either. Go, greet me and be more enthusiastic. The lobby manager noticed and asked a waiter to come over. The waiter walked up to the thug. Hello sir, what kind of tea would you like to drink? He was also drumming in his heart, but still began to greet. What tea do you have here? The thug impatiently looked at the price list placed on the table. Sir, we have different varieties of tea here. Earl's Black Tea, 80 yuan per cup, 380 yuan per pot. Passion Fruit, 100 yuan per cup, 480 yuan per pot. Lavender, 150 yuan per cup, 688 yuan per pot. What about plain water? The thug had a gloomy expression and directly interrupted the waiter. Sir, plain water costs us 50 yuan. The waiter hasn't finished speaking yet. Sir, plain water, we don't need it for money, we provide it for free. The voice of the lobby manager rang out, and he felt a bit uneasy as he walked over. I'm sitting here, don't you charge me? The thug remained silent for a moment and asked a question. No charge, you can sit anywhere. Then I'll have a glass of plain water. The expression of the thug softened slightly. How dare he accept such a high price? He's going to chop people off. Sir, please wait a moment and I will deliver it to you immediately. The lobby manager and waiter left. If there's anything else this person wants, don't charge him. He quietly instructed the waiter. The waiter nodded. What a special thing. I'm scared to death. This is the first time he has seen such a vicious thug. Now he just hopes that this thug is thirsty and leaves after drinking water. The lobby manager also thinks the same way. The appearance of this thug has already affected the business of the tea house. The guests sitting next to the thug have already started to leave. In the blink of an eye, there was another empty circle around the thug. The lobby manager secretly complained in his heart that this thug is not leaving and business is not doing well today. 3 thugs with blonde hair, pierced ears, and tattooed arms walked into the door again. They walked in, glanced at it, and then sat down at the table next to the bald thug just now. Clash. One of the thugs was careless. A machete shimmering with cold light fell from the back of the waist. He casually picked up the machete and reinserted it in his waist. Now more guests in the tea house have changed their faces. Another group of guests left. The tea house is even more empty. This is not over yet. From then on, more and more thugs walked in. 10. 20. 50. Until about 100 thugs sat here. Looking at the other guests, they have all run away and were scared away. So many thugs together, that's not a big deal. Who dares to continue staying here? The lobby manager's expression became somewhat numb. Today's business is completely finished. With this group of thugs around, who dares to come in and drink tea? He was a bit skeptical that the tea house had offended someone by bringing in so many thugs. This is intentionally ruining the tea shop business. Just when the lobby manager wanted to ask someone for information, a handsome young man in his 20s walked in. This is the most normal-looking young person who has walked into a tea house so far. The lobby manager didn't expect that anyone would dare to come in under such circumstances. He walked over with a smile on his face. Even if it is a serious guest, he still needs to receive them. This is the purpose of the tea house. I didn't wait for him to walk up to this young man. I saw all the thugs who had just entered the tea house stand up. Everyone spoke in unison and respectfully clasped their fists together. Big brother. The grades on the first day of a new book are very important, seeking flowers and evaluations Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. The leading brother now, so young. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The thugs respectfully addressed each other in unison. The lobby manager and waiter only then realized that this was actually the big brother of the thugs. You can't judge a person by their appearance. Is the current leader so young? And he's so handsome. No wonder everyone is advocating for the rejuvenation of talents. A waitress with a flirtatious expression wanted to go up and ask for a young person's signature. But quickly realized, this is not a celebrity, this is the leader. Her back oozed cold sweat. The lobby manager looked at Fang Jin and didn't know if he should go over. Fang Jin was also one step late, he got up late today. These days, he has been busy burying his former elder brother and dealing with his various aftermath, and has hardly slept well. It wasn't until he finished his work yesterday that he decided to convene a meeting with all the younger brothers today. The meeting venue, he casually said, should be closer to the Four Seas shopping plaza. So, Yunfei Tea House has been selected. Fang Jin waved his hand and asked everyone to sit down. He looked around and saw an empty table in the middle of the lobby, which was clearly reserved for him. Fang Jin walked over. After he sat down, no one walked over. Fang Jin is a bit strange. He raised his hand and greeted the waiter, "What kind of tea do you have here?" All the thugs turned their heads to look at the waiter, their eyes filled with murderous intent. Big brother is here. Do you dare to neglect? Isn't there anyone to serve? The lobby manager quickly signaled for a waiter to go over, but the waiter had a frightened face and dared not go over. Helpless. The lobby manager can only walk over. "Hello sir, what kind of tea would you like to drink?" he asked cautiously. Fang Jin originally ordered a cup of tea, but the price list on the table gave him a meal. Next, he saw the little brothers around him, everyone was a cup of plain water. As the big brother, he doesn't want to make any exceptions. "Let's have a glass of plain water," he said to the lobby manager. Fang Jin knows that the plain water here is actually not cheap. Fortunately, he had worked in college and even saved some money, so he could still afford plain water. The lobby manager is helpless. Sure enough. Not a family, not entering the same door. These thugs are all very stingy. Do you come to the tea house and don't want to spend a penny? But he only dares to gossip in his heart, he dare not speak out. If this is said and the other party draws their sword, they will have to cut it over. He doesn't want his blood to splash on his face. "Sir, please wait a moment and I will deliver it to you immediately." The lobby manager left Fang Jin's side. "Wait until the lobby manager brings water over. How much does it cost in total?" Fang Jin pointed around and prepared to pay the bill together. "Big brother. This lobby manager is quite good. He said plain boiled water is free. And even if we sit here, he doesn't charge any money." The bald thug who came first said. "Sir, yes, we don't want any money." The lobby manager is almost crying. "When I said no money, I meant you alone. Good guy. You call in hundreds of people, and the tea house won't have any pants left to lose today." Fang Jin pondered for a moment. Just when the lobby manager thought Fang Jin would understand him and take care of the lobby. Then. "Thank you. You are a good person." Fang Jin sent a good person card to the lobby manager. "Okay." The lobby manager held a good person card and left with blood dripping in his heart. Fang Jin took a sip of water and asked, "Do you know what I'm calling everyone today to say?" "Big brother. Should we start collecting protection fees, or should we start collecting them from this tea house?" The bald thug stood up first. His expression was somewhat excited. He just observed that this tea house has good business. "If we charge protection fees, we will charge a lot." The lobby manager didn't go far, so he naturally heard it. He began to have a thought in his mind. What era is this special, still collecting protection fees? Am I calling the police? Or should we call the police? If I were to report to the police, would these thugs be punished one by one, causing my blood to splatter all over my face? Fang Jinkai didn't mean that. He waved his hand and said, "I tell you, in this era, collecting protection fees has no future, and in the streets, there is also no future." "Big brother. What is the most promising thing then?" asked another thug. Upon hearing this, Fang Jin lifted his head and applauded slightly. "Good question, that's what I want to ask you. Think about it, what is the most profitable industry?" He did not answer, but raised the question. "Big brother. Collecting protection fees." After a while, someone answered. Fang Jin looked up, it was the bald thug from earlier. "What's your name?" he asked. Although these thugs are all his little brothers, he knows very few names. "Big brother, his name is Xiao Bai," said a thug next to him. "Drag the white man out," he pointed to the bald thug and said. Two thugs come over and drag the bald thug away. "I mean, besides collecting protection fees," Fang Jin continued. "Big brother. I know now, let's go kidnap tickets, this will definitely make money." It was Xiao Bai again, and he ran back. The lobby manager's hand was already trembling, pressing on the alarm device installed in the tea house. As long as Fang Jin agreed, he immediately called the police. "Drag him out and don't let him show up again," Fang Jin pointed at the little white man and said. Xiao Bai was dragged away again. Fang Jin is a bit speechless. This guy thinks about committing a crime all day long, that's not acceptable. What we want is to make money. What we need is to take the right path. He pondered for a moment and said, "I will tell you a story called Zhang Ziqiang." Fang Jin once checked that in this parallel world, there is no such person as Zhang Ziqiang. This is a century-old bandit who planned and carried out a series of kidnapping cases. Many wealthy people were kidnapped by him and demanded ransom. As you said, this method is very profitable, and he has accumulated billions of assets as a result. His criminal proceeds have even been recorded in the Guinness World Records. Fang Jin spoke for a while, only to find that the thugs around him all had their eyes lit up. This story seems to have moved them. Well, I'm not asking you to learn from him. Big brother. Later on, what happened to Zhang Ziqiang? Little Bai appeared unconsciously. Fang Jin gave Xiao Bai a faint glance and didn't bother to drag him away anymore. This Zhang Ziqiang was ultimately sentenced to death, and now the grass on the grave is already 10 feet high. This sentence. The entire tea house suddenly became silent. The grades on the first day of a new book are very important, seeking flowers and evaluations Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Is about brothers, so we should talk about loyalty and seek flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fang Jin finished telling the story of Zhang Ziqiang. Big brother. I understand now, we can't learn from Zhang Ziqiang. He is too arrogant in doing so. His fate has long been destined for destruction. If Xiao Bai is thoughtful. Fang Jin nodded. Xiao Bai hasn't been foolish enough yet, this guy still needs help. So tell me, what is the most promising thing? Fang Jin asked him. Big brother. I think it's safer to charge protection fees. Firstly, it's safe, secondly, it's not dangerous, and thirdly, it can still make money. Little Bai kept saying without leaving protection fees. He has returned to the starting point. The thugs around nodded together, yes, collecting protection fees is a good idea. Everyone turned around to look at the lobby manager, their gaze was not good. This tea house is not bad, it is a good place to collect protection fees. The lobby manager's hand pressed again on the alarm device installed in the tea house. He felt that the tea house was being targeted by these thugs and becoming increasingly dangerous. Fang Jin was speechless, he finally understood. I can't expect these thugs to wake up on their own. He must personally guide these guys. It seems that everyone thinks this tea house is good. But don't just focus on protection fees, as I said, there is no future. Have you ever thought that this tea house business is very profitable? He began to guide these guys. Otherwise, these thugs would stare at the protection fee and never be able to pull their eyes out. Big brother. What do you mean, we'll grab the tea house? In that case, the tea house will be ours. Can we make a lot of money? Big brother, that's a great idea. Xiao Bai became excited. Sure enough, it's Big Brother, and only Big Brother would come up with the idea of robbing the tea house. Someone, drag him out. Don't let me see him again today. Fang Jin couldn't bear it anymore. This little white always distorts his meaning, is it fun? He didn't start explaining until Xiao Bai was dragged away again. What I mean? We can also do business. We can also do business and make big money like tea houses, isn't that much stronger than charging protection fees? Fang Jin said to the thugs. Everyone finally understood the meaning of Fang Jin. A thug remained silent for a moment. Big brother. It's difficult to do business, we may lose money. He reminded Fang Jin. Don't be afraid, I have everything. Of course, we also need to take our business step by step, and we won't take too big a step, as it will drag us down. Now, I have a business in my hands, and I will hand it over to everyone. Let's start with the simplest business. Fang Jin said lightly. He is preparing to hand over the half-year rent collection of the Four Seas shopping plaza to his little brothers. If he goes alone to collect rent from over 400 shops, when will he receive it? Fang Jin is still eager to complete the task early and permanently obtain the 4C's shopping plaza. He only has 3 months left. After 3 months, if he cannot complete the task, the 4C's shopping plaza will be taken back by the system. Big brother. What kind of business is it? As long as we can do it, we guarantee to do it. A thug patted his chest and assured Fang Jin. Everyone is also afraid of poverty, as long as they can see money, their eyes can shine green. The business I'm talking about is very simple. Have you seen the 4C's shopping plaza across from me? Your job is to go to all the shops in the square to collect rent, and these shops need to pay half a year's rent. You're just going to collect the rent, which is different from collecting protection fees. It's a fair and honest collection of money. Fang Jin's words moved everyone's hearts. Is this job similar to collecting protection fees? Everyone is good at this. Also, I promise here first. You can receive a 5% commission on the rent collected from each store. Simply put, for a store with a minimum monthly rent of 20,000 yuan, the 6-month rent is 120,000 yuan, and you can get 6,000 yuan. If this store rents 100,000 yuan per month and 1.2 million yuan per half year, you can get 60,000 yuan. Fang Jin only mentioned this, everyone's eyes turned red. Even if it's 6,000, everyone is willing, let alone 60,000. Big brother. This matter is left to us. We guarantee that every store will collect it for you. We're missing one, you come to us to settle the accounts. All the thugs spoke in unison. Big brother. And me, I also want to rent, don't miss me. Xiao Bai ran back again, he said anxiously. Fang Jin took out a large stack of contracts from his bag. These are all contracts prepared by the system for him, everything is legal and complete, with an official seal on it. I have 2 copies of the renewal contracts for all stores here. What you need to do is to have these shops sign renewal contracts and then transfer the 6-month rent to the agreed account. I guarantee that you will receive the money you deserve. However, I would like to add that each of you can receive several contracts, and we can cooperate to collect rent or collect rent separately, but we cannot compete with each other. If you're a brother, you need to show loyalty. Otherwise, I wouldn't recognize such a brother. Do you understand? This time, Fang Jin showed his elder brother's dignity. If you're a brother, you need to show loyalty. The thugs clapped their chests and roared wildly. Sound shakes the sky. At this moment, no one has any other thoughts. When the lobby manager saw this, tears welled up in his eyes. Nima. Shouldn't we just collect rent? It's like going to the battlefield. Do you want to be so passionate? It makes me want to join. If you are a brother, you must show loyalty. He couldn't help but shout along in his heart. The grades on the first day of a new book are very important, seeking flowers and evaluations Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. This is simply money grabbing, seeking flowers for reviews. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 4C's Shopping Plaza. People come and go every day, and almost every business here is doing well. The famous watch specialty store on the first floor. Welcome a young man and woman. Men are graceful and handsome, while women are beautiful and elegant. The young man and woman walked into the store, and immediately a female clerk in professional attire walked over. Good morning, sir, and this beautiful lady. My name is Noxie. Is there anything I can do for you? The female salesperson Noxie is very experienced, and she can tell at a glance that this young man and woman are wealthy. Such people are also the most valued customers in the store. Hello, I would like to choose a watch for my girlfriend at your store. The young man was dressed in a famous brand, with a hint of pride in his attitude. Nosy seemed to have missed the arrogance of the youth, with a steady smile on her face as usual. "Sir, did you have any favorite watch styles before?" She didn't immediately recommend it, but asked the young man a question. The young man actually has his own favorite style, but he still deliberately said something. "Not yet, could you recommend a few?" Nosy nodded and then said. "According to your girlfriend's age, it is the prime of her youth. Wearing a watch that suits you can showcase a woman's fashionable temperament and personal charm." When she said this, both young men and women showed satisfied smiles. This female shop assistant named Noxie is obviously very talkative. Nosy also noticed the expressions of the young man and woman, and she smiled slightly. "So I recommend the Inheritance series of women's watches. The design inspiration for this sharp watch comes from elements such as architecture, art, and music. The designer recreated these elements to create a beloved watch. It won everyone's hearts with a beautiful posture and a calm temperament, cleverly integrating lotus petals with different shapes into the dial, and interspersed with diamonds, like a finishing touch of a painting dragon. Undoubtedly a staff member of a famous watch shop, their eloquence in speech makes people only able to listen quietly." "Can I take a look?" The young man was actually interested in this one, but he pretended to be reserved and said. "Of course, please come with me." Noxie led the two of them to the display cabinet, ready to take out their watches. At that moment, she paused and looked at the store door, her eyes showing a hint of unease. Young men and women also noticed. The two of them also turned their heads, and similarly, their eyes were instantly panicked. I saw a shaved bald thug standing at the entrance of the store, with a cold expression and a scar on his face, looking fierce and evil. Especially the fierce light in the eyes of thugs makes people feel terrifying. "Is this a robbery?" The young man had a bad premonition in his heart. Xiao Bai glanced at the door number and walked in. He just got the renewal contract for this famous watch store from his elder brother Fang Jin. Xiao Bai is not good at math, it took him a while to figure it out. The monthly rent for this store is 40,000 yuan, and the 6-month rent is 240,000 yuan. If he asks the store to sign a renewal contract, he can get a commission of 12,000 yuan. Thinking of this, Xiao Bai's heart became hot. Sure enough. Big brother is still right. Doing serious business is much stronger than collecting protection fees. This is simply stealing money. He can get over 10,000 yuan from just this one store. What other stores are there? No way. I need to hurry up. If someone else takes the lead, I might lose my income. Even if you are a biological brother, you have to keep track of it. On Fang Jin's side, although it is not allowed for brothers to compete with each other or seize each other's contracts, it is encouraged to compete with each other. As long as you complete the renewal contract you currently have, you can go and get a new one. The more contracts you receive, the more natural income you will receive. Even if Xiao Bai is not good at math, he knows about this account. Now that he has come to this watch specialty store, he naturally wants to renew his lease with the store. However, Xiao Bai's current image does not seem to be a renter, but rather a robber. His fierce appearance at the door naturally led to a misunderstanding. He didn't care and walked into the store in a hurry. With a glance in his eyes, he walked towards the female clerk. This is to inquire who to sign a renewal contract with. He left a bit hasty. Clash. The machete inserted in the back fell to the ground. In this world, it is not forbidden for people to go out and bring knives. But bringing such a knife into the store is naturally unusual. Everyone in the store's face changed wildly. It's a real hammer. This is a robber. The knives are all exposed. This must not have run away. Xiao Bai picked up the knife and walked up to the young man. Before he could speak, the young man trembled and handed over his wallet. Sir. My money and my bank card are all inside. If you want them, take them and don't kill me. He begged Xiao Bai. The previous elegance and elegance are now gone. Xiao Bai remained silent and frowned as he looked at the young man. I don't want your money. He said something. Now Xiao Bai is already doing serious business. As Big Brother just said, illegal activities cannot be done. He can't take things from young people, otherwise it's robbery. Xiao Bai remained motionless, he knew very well in his heart. No money, it's okay to have my girlfriend, she's very beautiful. The young man pushed out his girlfriend, and in order to save his life, he didn't care about anything else. My girlfriend's face changed. She was still very sweet just now, feeling that youth is really good to her. Now I realize that young people are this kind of person. Xiao Bai's face has also changed. This scumbag. Women have to betray themselves, not even themselves. Get lost. He walked over with a cold face and pushed away the young man. The young man stumbled from the collision and quickly dodged to the side. Xiao Bai walked up to the female shop assistant. Now it's the turn of the female shop assistant to turn pale. Is this going to rob the store? Xiao Bai's eyes still carried a fierce light as usual. Where is your boss? Tell him. It's time to pay. In the end, he still used the line of collecting protection fees. The grades on the first day of a new book are very important, seeking flowers and evaluations Qingming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Let's play with him, seeking flowers and comments. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Bai's words made the female clerk breathe a little sigh of relief. It turns out that the boss is in debt, so it has nothing to do with oneself. This watch specialty store is a franchise store, with the owner's surname He. Big Brother. Can you wait? The boss is not here right now. The female shop assistant immediately said. Not here. Xiao Bai is a bit anxious. In his mind, he imagined that other brothers had already received rent, but he didn't receive it himself. Isn't this really affecting his income? Thinking of this, Xiao Bai slapped the counter and almost broke the glass. When will your boss come back? He was full of a fierce aura, with a murderous expression on his face. Big Brother. I'll make a phone call right away. I'll ask the boss. The female salesperson is about to cry. Boss, how much money do you owe? They chased you to the store. The young man next to him also realized a misunderstanding. This is not a robber, but a debt collector. He breathed a slight sigh of relief. Of course. The debtors and robbers are similar, both very fierce and unreasonable. Even if he misunderstood, he dared not speak up. The female shop assistant quickly called Boss He. Boss. Come back quickly, those who want money have come to the store. She urged her boss. Only when the boss comes over will this debtor leave. Want money? I don't owe money. Can you ask him if he made a mistake? Boss He is inexplicably across the phone. The female shop assistant put down the phone. This Big Brother. The boss said he doesn't owe any money, did you find the wrong place? She asked Xiao Bai. That's right, it's your watch specialty store, and the total fee is 240,000 yuan. Xiao Bai took out the renewal contract and carefully looked at the address. He's not blind, the address is written very clearly. Big Brother. What are you holding? The female shop assistant looked at the contract and felt something was wrong. Xiao Bai said fiercely. Rent collection. At this moment, the management company of the Four Seas shopping plaza has become chaotic, and the phone is ringing frantically. Director Lu answered the phone and all complaints were made. What? A thug has arrived at your store with a very aggressive attitude and wants to collect rent. There's no such thing. Collecting rent is the responsibility of our management company. Yes, we haven't entrusted anyone else, let alone hired thugs. What? The renewal contract brought by the thug has complete procedures and official seals. This is impossible. Wait a moment, I will send staff to investigate immediately. Hanging up the phone, Manager Lu raised his head. Who goes down to learn more? What do these thugs come from? Let me ask again, have we offended anyone? He frowned. Generally speaking, when thugs cause trouble, it is certain that someone has offended them or the people behind them. Who is the person behind this? Director Lu couldn't think of it for a moment. The management center is very quiet, and no one responds. The staff's faces were a bit pale, knowing that there was a group of thugs below, and everyone dared not go down. That's not a group of reasonable thugs. What's going on? What did I say? Is nobody listening anymore? Director Lu frowned. In fact, he dare not go down either. If an ordinary person is okay, if he is a thug, he is afraid of going down on his own and will be beaten up within a few words. The phone rang again. Manager, what? We don't need to handle the rent collection anymore. This is the decision of the new boss of the company. Director Lu answered the phone and hung up again. His expression is complex. Now he knows. Those thugs are really responsible for collecting rent. This decision is naturally made by Fang Jin. My little brothers have all gone to collect rent. Fang Jin continued to stay in the tea house amidst the fearful eyes of the lobby manager and waiter. He notified the management company of the 4C's shopping plaza that the subsequent rent collection will no longer be handled by them. Since he is the new boss, his decision will naturally not be opposed by the other side. The reason why Fang Jin asked his younger brother to collect rent is not only to take care of him, but also because this management company has some management issues. Their previous rent collection had some tricks, some shops paid less rent or delayed paying rent. These are all told to him by the system. Fang Jin didn't allow this kind of thing to happen again, so he replaced it all with his own little brother. These little brothers are 100% loyal to themselves, so there won't be any underpayment of rent again. However, some things are still underestimated by Fang Jin, or in other words, he underestimated the bottom line of some people. At this time, many shop owners at the 4C's shopping plaza received news. The 4C's shopping plaza has been resold, reportedly to a street tycoon. The renewal of the store's lease will now be handled by the young brother of this street tycoon, rather than the management company of the square. Some shop owners have previously given benefits to the management company, allowing them to pay less rent or delay paying rent. Now that we have changed people, this benefit naturally disappears. Everyone must be unwilling. Many shop owners began to sit together, secretly discussing countermeasures. Don't be afraid, everyone. That guy doesn't want to be a big brother and wants to play business. Let's play with him. You're right, since it's a business, we should follow the commercial rules, not the moral rules. I'm not as good at fighting as these thugs, but when it comes to business. It's not bragging, I can defeat them with just one finger. Business is our strength, it's best to let these thugs give up and eventually let the management company collect the rent. Anyway, I won't pay the rent in full. I'd rather procrastinate. I want to see who consumes more energy than who. Hard work pays off to those who have a heart. Xiaobai finally received the rent, and then he went to find his elder brother Fang Jin. Fang Jin fulfilled his promise, checked his account, and immediately transferred 12,000 yuan to him. This is less than half a day. This makes Xiaobai extremely happy. He has never earned so much money before. He immediately received his second contract and enthusiastically continued to look for a store to renew the lease. As soon as the news spread, the other brothers were also excited. Even if the renewal contract has not been completed yet, everyone still has motivation in their hearts. Fang Jin was also satisfied. When he returned home in the afternoon, he received a total of 30 store transfers, totaling 4.8 million yuan in income. Excluding the reward of 240,000 yuan, he also earned 4.56 million yuan. This is just the first day. Fang Jin believes that becoming a billionaire is just around the corner. Writing a new book is not easy. I hope for free flowers and free reviews. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. I solved your family difficulties. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Time flies by quickly. 4 days have passed in a blink of an eye. 4C's Shopping Plaza. Second floor Qingda Fashion Store. Li Qingda sat in the store, with a mocking smile on his lips. He was the owner of the specialty store. He also knows about the renewal of the store these days. In order to renew the lease, a thug has been running to his store for 3 days. Every time that thug comes to find him, he has a very good attitude. But he will always have only 4 words: no money, difficulties. Whether that thug is fierce, carries a murderous aura, or curses, he always says that. Li Qingda actually saw that thugs don't know how to take action, so he's not afraid. Fighting with me in the mall. You're still tender. This is not on the road. It's good if you dare not take action. In the past, Li Qingda used to procrastinate when renewing his lease. If he couldn't procrastinate, he would give the management some benefits and ask them to charge less. But this time he gave benefits to the thugs, and the thugs firmly refused to accept it. That is, they asked him to pay half a year's rent in full. Li Qingda decided to drag it on until the thugs couldn't bear it. Anyway, there are plenty of people who refuse to pay rent. This situation is not just the Li Qingda family. Many merchants in the 4C's shopping plaza have felt that the speed of paying rent has slowed down, and they are all waiting for the situation to develop. It's best to drag on until these thugs can't bear it and let go. Alternatively, the management company here can take over, and everyone can save some money. Xiao Bai came looking for Fang Jin with a worried expression on his face, feeling a bit helpless. Big brother. Li Qingda, the owner of Qingda Fashion Store on the 2nd floor, doesn't have the money to renew the lease. What should I do? He wants to ask Fang Jin for ideas. Is Fang Jin the big brother? There must be more ideas than him. He's good at fighting. He is really a bit nervous about this business matter. Originally, he successfully won the first store and gained a lot of confidence. But it took 3 days for the owner of Qingda Fashion Store on the 2nd floor to wear down his confidence. This is not as enjoyable as fighting someone. Fang Jin asked calmly, what's going on? He is aware of the matter of rent collection, and there will definitely be some problems. No business without deceit. Anyone who does business is very slippery. Those who do business honestly can't find many people. If it were such a business, they wouldn't have caused trouble in renewing their lease. Big brother. I have been looking for this boss for 3 days, and he said his business is not good and his family is also facing difficulties. He doesn't have the money to renew the lease and wants us to extend a few months' grace. Xiao Bai told Fang Jin. How many months of grace? Fang Jin raised his eyebrows. His task only takes 3 months. If this exceeds the time, Fang Jin may lose the 4C's shopping plaza. Business is not good. Are you joking? There's no bad business at the 4C's shopping plaza. If business is really bad, this boss can't move out. What are you still doing here? As for family difficulties, Fang Jin doesn't believe a single word. This kind of words can only deceive the novice. When Fang Jin received the contract from the system, he also obtained the information of each merchant. These materials include the business operations of the merchants and many of their secrets. It can be said that he now knows every merchant like the back of his hand. Li Qingda, the owner of Qingda fashion store on the second floor, is naturally not poor, but also very wealthy and earns a lot of money. You didn't do anything illegal to him, did you? Fang Jin asked lightly. Big brother. No, didn't you say not to break the law? I didn't even touch his finger. Xiao Bai said helplessly. That's why he couldn't take over the boss Li Qingda. If he could break the law, he promised that he could not recognize the boss or his mother. Not paying. Business is not good. Family difficulties. It's none of my business. Got it, let's go. Fang Jin stood up. Big brother. Where are you going? Xiao Bai followed behind Fang Jin. Let's do good deeds. Didn't he say that family is difficult? Let's send warmth, Fang Jin smiled. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Xiao Bai returned to the second floor Qingda fashion store. Xiao Bai. You're here, please come in quickly. Li Qingda saw Xiao Bai and immediately stood up enthusiastically, then changed his expression to a slightly depressed one. Poor business naturally leads to depression. Boss Li, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I didn't expect that your family was really in trouble, it's been so difficult. As soon as Xiao Bai entered the store, he held on to Li Qingda's hand to comfort her. Yeah. Our family is facing difficulties and our business is not good, so we really don't have the money to renew the lease. Li Qingda wanted to shed a few tears, but he couldn't squeeze them out. The waiter next to him pursed his lips and looked at Xiao Bai with some sympathy. Don't be fooled by the boss, it's a pity that Xiao Bai looks fierce. Little Bai didn't seem to have thought that he would be deceived. He quickly comforted Li Qingda and said, Boss Li, I'm not here to ask you to renew your lease this time. I just want to tell you that I have solved your family difficulties. Li Qingda looked up at Xiao Bai and blinked his eyes. What does it mean? He didn't understand. Xiao Bai, what do you mean by solving family difficulties? He hesitated for a moment and asked. Boss Li, I have checked your family. Originally, your family of 3 had a very happy life. But who knew there was another woman outside who was bothering you? She gave you a son, and you were forced to give her money and 2 houses. I don't believe it's not difficult for you. Xiao Bai answered Li Qingda's question. Li Qingda's face slowly changed color. Xiao Bai, are you checking my home? He opened his mouth wide. The key is. Xiao Bai also found out. How could this be possible? The women in my family don't even know about this particular matter. Yeah. In order to help you solve this difficulty, I told my sister.In.Law. You see, sister.In.Law is also here, Xiao Bai turned around and said. Li Qingda's face changed greatly. At the entrance of the fashion store, a woman in her 50s and 30s walked into the store with a stern face. Wife, listen to my explanation. Li Qingda didn't care about Xiao Bai anymore. He owned this store solely with the support of this woman. Explain Nima. The woman picked up the glass teapot next to her and smashed it over. Pop it. The glass teapot exploded on Li Qingda's head, causing his head to break and bleed. Beat up. It's starting. Writing a new book is not easy, I hope for free flowers and free reviews. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. The brain is a good thing. Seeking flowers for evaluation. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Second floor Qingda fashion store. There was a sound of beating. Pop. 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 Give a slap on Li Qingda's face. Li Qingda was beaten and his face was swollen, and he dared not resist. If he resists, women will definitely kick him out of the house, believe it or not. If he really wants to be kicked out, he has nothing left and this shop will also be taken back by a woman. Xiao Bai stood beside him, very excited, very happy. I just can't do it. His fists clenched and then loosened. But even if you watch others fight, he still feels great. After all, the scene before him is his credit. The woman only stopped when she was tired from fighting. She turned to look at Xiao Bai, her eyes showing a wave of admiration. You did a good job, what about the contract? She asked a question. Sister-in-law, here it is. Xiao Bai happily took out the renewal contract. The other onlookers outside the shop, who had not yet renewed their lease, looked at Xiao Bai and their faces changed. Nima. Do you want to be so ruthless? In order to renew the lease, you quickly destroyed other people's homes. Some bosses are starting to ponder whether they should persist and confront thugs like this. These thugs, why don't they play cards according to the rules? It's not that we have to comply with business rules, it's completely meaningless. Sign. The woman threw the renewal contract in front of Li Qingda without saying a word. Now Li Qingda is honest and doesn't dare to say a word more. He does whatever he is asked to do. Later, he honestly transferred half a year's rent to his account. As for hating Xiao Bai, he dare not. Xiao Bai has a fierce expression on his face. Li Qingda remembers, this guy is a thug. And thugs. When it comes to fighting, it's even more terrifying than his wife. Li Qingda trembled. It's better to send this plague god away as soon as possible. As for my wife, if we apologize properly, there is still a way to solve it. Didn't my wife beat me up for a long time without even breaking up? Xiao Bai received the signed renewal contract and walked out of the store, feeling a wave of joy in his heart. The monthly rent for this fashion store is 30,000 yuan, and the 6-month rent is 180,000 yuan. He can also get 7,000 yuan. Wait. Xiao Bai suddenly stopped in his tracks. He felt something was wrong and took out his calculator again to carefully calculate. Special. It's clearly 9,000, almost missing 2,000. Fortunately, my math was not taught by a physical education teacher. With the addition of his first contract, his income has now exceeded 20,000 yuan. The little whiteboard had a fierce face, but her heart was still filled with joy. Cheating. He let out a cheer in his heart. He is not praising himself, but praising his older brother. Big brother is amazing. I helped him get things done with just one move. If I had known I should have found my older brother earlier, it would have wasted 3 days of my time. Thinking of this, Xiao Bai felt a bit anxious. In these 3 days, I must have fallen behind. The other brothers don't know how many contracts they have already signed. He wants to quickly go find his older brother and get the 3rd renewal contract. Bai Gu. Someone shouted behind me. Xiao Bai stopped and turned around. A thug with blonde hair, perforated ears, and tattooed arms stood behind him. Tycoon. What's up? Seeing that it was his own brother, Xiao Bai naturally wouldn't leave. He remembers what his older brother said, if you're a brother, you should show loyalty. If the thug finds him, there must be something wrong. Bai Gu. You were so impressive just now. You took care of that boss in no time. Can you teach me? Tycoon said enviously. He is obviously also in trouble. The boss who wants to renew the lease has not been resolved either. You're looking for me. You're looking for the wrong person, Xiao Bai said without asking anything. This is not that he disregards brotherhood. Let him fight, he definitely won't say a word. But he knows which onion he is, helping his brothers come up with ideas is not his ability. Tycoon just saw that Xiao Bai was handling the boss cleanly, so he came over to seek advice. He was a bit disappointed to hear Xiao Bai say this. You should have approached Big Brother. Do you think it's my ability to solve this boss? Big Brother taught me. My brain is a good thing, and I need to know how to use it. Xiao Bai woke up Tycoon. Big brother. Yes, why didn't I think? Tycoon's eyes lit up. Let's go. I also need to go find Big Brother to get the contract and go together. Xiao Bai took Tycoon to find Fang Jin. Fang Jin was sitting in the coffee shop downstairs at this moment. Just now, the bank sent a text message reminding him that the 180,000 yuan from Xiao Bai's side had already been received. He calculated that there are a total of 450 stores in Sihai Shopping Plaza, and now more than half of them have successfully renewed their leases. These are only a few days, and he is very satisfied with the progress. It seems that he can collect the half-year rent here in less than 3 months. Now his account has exceeded 32 million. Ding! If the host task is completed halfway and the task completion time is ahead of schedule, receive additional rewards. Do you want to extract rewards? A metallic sound came out of my mind again. There are rewards in advance for the task, which Fang Jin did not expect. Extract. He immediately said. Ding. Hosts all little brothers ferocity plus 20, strength plus 20, physique plus 20, spirit plus 10. Xiao Bai's ferocity plus 40, strength plus 40, physique plus 40, spirit plus 20. The host gains twice as much physical reinforcement. Host rewards fighting skills, beginner, firearms skills, beginner. Fang Jin was delighted in his heart. There were many rewards this time. Not only did he receive generous rewards, but also his younger brother received rewards. It seems that it is correct to involve the younger brothers in the task of the 4 Seas Shopping Plaza, and we should continue to involve them in the future. With the improvement of their own strength, the strength of the younger brothers will also increase. Think about the future. When the strength of the younger brothers grows to terror, if they don't take action themselves, they will also kill in all directions. Not right. It's galloping through the business world. Writing a new book is not easy. I hope for free flowers and free reviews. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Stop hitting. If you hit someone again, you'll be beaten to death. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Bai suddenly stopped, feeling as if his body had undergone some changes. Strength. It seems to have grown a bit larger. Brain. I seem to have regained some clarity. But it could also be an illusion. Have you noticed anything wrong? He asked Tycoon. There's something wrong, Tycoon nodded. Did you also notice? Xiao Baidun looked at Tycoon. I must have noticed. Tycoon didn't look at Xiao Bai, but looked around alertly. Around. 5 thugs stood in front of him, blocking Xiao Bai and Tycoon. This is also the solution that businesses in Sihai Shopping Plaza who are not planning to pay rent have come up with. If business rules are not easy to apply, then use the rules of the road. If you use thugs to collect rent, then we will use thugs to deal with you. You 2 thugs will use 5 thugs. I can't help but say it. These merchants at the 4 Seas Shopping Plaza can still come up with solutions. Little Bai only noticed the thugs surrounding him now. He doesn't know him and has never dealt with him before. However, Xiao Bai grinned and became excited. That's right. This is the scene that I am familiar with. Do you want to notify Big Brother? At this moment, Tycoon seemed to have changed a person. No need. When Big Brother brings someone over later, I won't be satisfied anymore, Xiao Bai sneered. Okay, then it's just the 2 of us, but don't finish it alone, leave it to me too. Tycoon is also a fearless thug. Hey! Where's your big brother? Said a thug across from him, looking like a leader with triangular eyes and a bit fierce in his eyes. I am, you can call me Bai Gu. Xiao Bai looked up. This is not where you came from, get out of here, don't force me to take action. The triangular-eyed thug stared at Xiao Bai. He thought it would be best to scare people away, as there are too many people in the mall here and it's not suitable for hands-on activities. Xiao Bai turned around and left, throwing down a sentence. Come to the rooftop. He also felt that it was not easy to get hands-on here. Everyone went up to the rooftop, which was relatively empty and a good place to get hands-on. The triangular-eyed thug immediately understood the meaning of Xiao Bai. He followed the 4 thugs behind him, and he was not afraid to take action. After all, they are 5 people, with 2 people on the opposite side. It seems that they have an advantage. They were paid to come this time, and there was originally an intention to teach each other a lesson, which would be even better. Xiao Bai and tycoon didn't shake people anymore. Both of them actually had a feeling that their bodies had become stronger. When everyone went up to the rooftop together, some merchants also quietly followed suit. These merchants really want to see Xiao Bai and tycoon being scolded and then kicked out of the 4 C's shopping plaza. Other thugs just follow the same method. In this way, their rent can also be indefinitely delayed. In their minds, 5 thugs, dealing with 2 thugs, won a steady victory. On the rooftop. Shaving his bald head, the little white with cold eyes. Tycoon with blonde hair, pierced ears, and tattooed arms. 2 people stand back to back. This is the best way for 2 people to fight. Everyone doesn't have to worry about their backs not being protected. I'll say it again, get out of here, otherwise I'll see you guys hitting each time. The triangular-eyed thug extended a finger, threatening Xiao Bai and tycoon. Very imposing. Xiao Bai also reached out his hand. Triangle-eyed thugs thought Little White wanted to agree. But Xiao Bai's speed suddenly accelerated and quickly grasped the finger of the triangular-eyed thug. I didn't wait for the triangular-eyed thug to react. Come on. The finger of the triangular-eyed thug is broken. He was about to scream in agony. Shut up. Xiao Bai's fist had already swung. With a punch, the triangular-eyed thug's teeth had already flown out a few, and he forcefully swallowed the scream back. The merchant standing quietly by took a step back. Fierce. Too fierce. The triangular-eyed thug covered his mouth and took a few steps back, finally slowing down. Grass. It hurts me so much, fuck him for me. He became angry with embarrassment, and 4 thugs rushed up from behind. One of them wants to grab Xiao Bai's clothes. Xiao Bai stepped forward forcefully, grabbed the other person's clothes first, and then hit them with a knee. It was like shrimp, curled up on the ground, rolling in pain. 2. Little Bai counted in his mouth. He really knows how to fight, and he really can. Doing business is simply a waste of talent for him. Then another thug was hit in the temple by a flick of his elbow and fell directly to the ground. 3. Xiao Bai said again. Bai Gu. Wait, your share is gone, it's mine behind you, tycoon said urgently from behind. Grass. Keep fighting like this. He didn't get a single one. Okay. You come. Xiao Bai took a step back and made way for the passage. The remaining 2 thugs cheered up when they saw each other change people. The little white fought so fiercely just now, they were so scared that they wanted to run away. Now replace it with tycoon, they think they can still fight. 2 people rushed towards tycoon, and one of them even took out a machete. Xiao Bai's eyes fixed, and he wanted to come forward and help. Bai Gu. Don't, tycoon shouted as if his eyes had grown behind his head. Xiao Bai stopped again. At this moment, tycoon kicked the other thug away directly. Then he reached out and grabbed the wrist of the knife-wielding thug. Take your mother and dare to chop me off. He twisted hard. Click. The hand of the thug on the opposite side was twisted by him. Ah! This time the thug screamed in agony. His machete also fell to the ground. Tycoon got into a fight and was also very crazy. Bang! 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 punched the face of the thug on the opposite side as if he didn't want money. A pile of bloody teeth flew out. When the thug fell, he even lifted his foot and kicked hard. Xiao Bai was originally still admiring tycoon. A few days no see, tycoon's fight has become even more intense. But after a while, he quickly came over and grabbed the crazy tycoon. Stop hitting, if you hit someone again, you'll be dead. Writing a new book is not easy, I hope for free flowers and free reviews. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Those who follow me prosper, those who oppose me perish. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Bai forcefully pulled tycoon down the rooftop, otherwise this guy would really kill him. The key is that when tycoon left, he was still shouting, "Let go of me, I can still fight. Let's go, don't want to make money anymore." Xiao Bai knocked tycoon's head before waking him up. By the way, I need to find the boss. The renewal contract hasn't been signed yet. Tycoon finally realized and returned to normal. After the two of them left, the merchants came over to take a look at the 5 thugs. It's unbearable. Okay. It's a waste of money this time. 5 thugs, completely no match, just returned them 40,000 yuan, including medical expenses. It's better to feed the dog. These merchants are feeling a bit uneasy. They are just 2 thugs, and it's so difficult to deal with them. You should know that the 4 Seas shopping plaza is also bustling with hundreds of thugs. How many thugs do we need to find as thugs? No, as opponents. This may cost more money. These merchants are once again distressed, and everyone feels that it is better to follow commercial rules. This way. At least everyone won't get beaten up. These rent collectors are really too cruel. Everything has returned to its original state, business is business, and there is no need to mix in the things on the road. Xiao Bai and tycoon found Fang Jin. Big brother, I have secured my renewal contract, which is 180,000 yuan for 6 months, he said to Fang Jin first. I understand, your commission of 9,000 yuan has been transferred to you. Fang Jin nodded. Big brother, I still need to get a new contract. By the way, this is tycoon, he's also in trouble. Xiao Bai said before thinking of tycoon. Fang Jin handed over the new contract to Xiao Bai before asking tycoon, what's going on? Big brother. That's what's going on. Tycoon began to tell Fang Jin about his own situation. Tycoon is also in charge of renewing the contract at the fashion store on the 2nd floor. The male shop owner is actually willing to renew the contract, but his wife does not agree. No matter what tycoon said, that woman is unwilling to renew the contract. The male shop owner is also very obedient to women, so tycoon encountered trouble. So what we're trying to persuade is his wife, right? Fang Jin understood. Yes, his wife's name is Chiu Suying, tycoon introduced. I still know this woman. Fang Jin lifted his head with a meaningful smile on his face. The next morning, tycoon arrived at the store. Brother Wang, how is business? He greeted the shopkeeper surnamed Wang. The shop owner surnamed Wang looked around but didn't say a word. His woman is here. Are you here again? Didn't you say so? We don't have the money at the moment and we need to slowly renew the lease, the woman walked over and said. This thug has been coming over for a few days, and she finds it very annoying. Anyway, she has figured out the rules now. If thugs don't take action, she won't be afraid. Miss Ng. You happen to be there too. Yesterday, I found a phone with some interesting things inside. Would you like to take a look with Brother Wang? Tycoon's lips seemed to smile. Men, there's nothing good. The woman seemed to realize something and walked to the side. Come on, Brother Wang. If Sister Ng doesn't look, I'll show you. tycoon couldn't help but say, handing his phone to the owner surnamed Wang. The shop owner surnamed Wang declined for a moment, but still picked up his phone. Anyway, there are no customers in the store now, so it doesn't affect business. Opening the phone for a few glances, the owner surnamed Wang's face changed. You stay at the store for a while, I'll go to the restroom and smoke a cigarette, he immediately stood up and said to the woman. Without waiting for the woman to answer, he hurriedly left the store. Isn't it that kind of video? It's not like I haven't watched it yet, and I'm still hiding in the bathroom watching it. The woman didn't think much, just muttered. The owner surnamed Wang and tycoon left the store together. He did not go to the restroom, but went to a deserted place with tycoon. Where did this video come from? He asked tycoon directly. I said I accidentally picked up the phone yesterday, do you believe it or not? Tycoon said lightly. He naturally didn't find it, he bought this second-hand phone just to shoot videos. In the video, a woman surnamed Wang walked into the hotel with another man. Of course. There are still many videos on the phone. The shop owner surnamed Wang watched the video without saying a word until the last conversation appeared. Dialogue is the voice of a man and a woman. Woman. I'm almost ready. Man. Let's just take action in these few days. Woman. First of all, this property belongs to me, you can't compete with me. Man. Of course I don't grab it. You're all mine. What should I grab? Woman. Okay, I have already contacted the mental hospital and will send him in a few days. Man. Be careful of him talking recklessly. Woman. No, I will give him a medicine. He only talks nonsense. Who will believe him then? The shop owner surnamed Wang was already sweating profusely upon hearing this. The woman in the conversation is his wife. As for who the man is, he doesn't know. But he is clear in his heart. This woman is going to send him to a mental hospital. This is making his life more difficult than death. He didn't expect his wife to be so cruel to him as she had long been in bed with him. Tycoon. Me. Can you help me with this? The owner surnamed Wang suddenly asked tycoon. No problem, but you also need to help with our affairs, tycoon smiled. Okay, tycoon, where is the contract? I'll sign it now. The shop owner surnamed Wang didn't hesitate this time. Tycoon took out the contract, and the owner surnamed Wang quickly signed it before transferring the money to the account. Tycoon smiled and completed his first contract. The monthly rent for this fashion store is also 30,000 yuan, and the 6-month rent is 180,000 yuan. He can get 9,000 yuan. Afternoon. A shocking news spread in the Four Seas shopping plaza. The woman surnamed Wang, the owner of the shop, suddenly went crazy. Now that she is in a mental hospital, she may not be able to leave. Upon hearing this news, those merchants who had not yet paid their rent were all in a cold war. Fierce. Too ruthless. These thugs destroyed one family last time, and now they have driven the people of another family crazy. Next time. What else will these thugs do? Does this mean that those who follow me will prosper, and those who oppose me will perish? Writing a new book is not easy. I hope for free flowers and free reviews. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.